So, hello friends, I'm Rouben Gargaloyan, as I represent myself, and I'm extremely proud and honored to be part of this great initiative, Armenians Forward Together. And I'll be speaking about our organization Learning Mission, and I'll be sharing with you our vision, our thought process, our goals, our dreams, and hopefully you will better understand our mission and what we do. So, Learning Mission was formed immediately after the end of Artsakh War, when we saw how vastly we are behind technologically. And we also saw that thousands and thousands are veterans returned home with severe injuries, physical injuries, and also deep psychological trauma. They returned to remote villages, areas with very minimal access to education and infrastructure. So they became cut out from the society, and that created a huge problem. We call it a bleeding. And we came together, teachers and engineers, to stop the bleeding and provide them access to the proper education. So we established our mission. Foundation of our mission, the core principle of our mission, is to give our veterans hope and a career path. The career path is their hope for future. And to do that, to give them a career path, we need to heal their physical and psychological wounds. We decided that, and we're not alone by far, that the most needed education nowadays is IT education. So we decided to provide quality IT education and soft skill education. And I'll elaborate what I mean by soft skill later in the presentation. And to provide IT education, we need to equip our students with computers, and also a lot of soldiers are not able to afford fast internet, and also enable them to access fast internet. So we provided computers and stipend so they can function and they can educate themselves. They can get this education. Also, what goes in parallel with IT is obviously English education, which is essential nowadays. It's a gateway to a world knowledge. And we decided to create English classes in parallel with IT education. Also, one of the corners and foundation of a learning mission is to provide education in Armenian history and Armenian art. So make them better Armenians, strengthen their roots so they better understand what Armenians mean and what Armenia means. So we also put a lot of emphasis on Armenian studies, and I'll explain what we do this semester. Also, to fuel our mission, we need to build establish relationship with Armenia-based IT companies. And basically, we consider them our future employers, and I'll tell a lot about that in the next slides. So then upon establishing our mission, we created our core principles. Our founding core principle, the most essential principle, is to never say no to a truly motivated person. Motivation is the only criteria for a learning mission to accept students. We don't need background, we don't need skills, we don't need knowledge, we just need strong motivation. And second core principle is to treat every student as a family member. Now, it sounds simple, but there is a lot of science behind this second item, our second core principle, because okay, that's fine. Almost all of our soldiers have severe PTSD. And the way PTSD manifests itself, they get locked down in themselves. They fail to communicate with society. They become self-contained, and that's a big risk, a big problem for their development. When student immerses into a family, into a community, when he is surrounded by like-minded people, and they have a same goal, same mission, same objective, they get out of the shell. The shell is, they break through the shell, and later, I'll give you an example. It's a fascinating example how this actually worked. So the family aspect of learning mission is extremely important. We have great instructors here in Armenia that create this family atmosphere, and our instructors in US as well. Elaborate a little later about that. And also we believe in the importance of holistic education, because again, we don't want to be narrow-mindedly teaching our students IT and programming. We want them to be really holistically educated. And as a proof of that, we have Armenian studies and also extracurricular studies, which touch various aspects of science, culture. We have studies of ancient history, Greek history. We have a history of cinematography in a pipeline. So this is a variety of different subjects that goes up well beyond IT, and that kind of creates this holistic education for our students. And we pay really big attention on that. And also we consider, as a founding principle, we consider our students our future instructors and mentors. So a few words about our team. I already introduced my team, saved a few seconds. And, I just want to say that we're on both sides of the globe. We have team in US, we have team in diaspora. We're really fused together. We became like one whole, even though we have a team in both sides, as I mentioned. And our team consists of volunteers. So we're providing maximum of our funding to students. We have very little overhead, as all our instructors are currently volunteered. We'll have paid instructor for students, which I'll explain later in our challenges. We also have Armenian-based coordinators, I mentioned, that create a family that really do a great job on getting the students together, organizing events, and making them feel great within our organization. Also, what's an important addition to our team, part of our team, are interns. We had great internship with AUA. They did an amazing job for us, and we're going to be extending this collaboration with universities. And I think they had fun working with us, and we're really grateful for American University of Armenia. Now, how we do things, right? In IT education, we really want to create engineers, not coders. And what it means is we look at education, we create engineers, which means the critical thinking, algorithmic thinking, we introduce problems, and we expect optimal solutions. Interactivity is another big part of our process, because the students we're dealing with PTSD, they need to be talked, they need to be engaged, and that's extremely important for all our instructors to be engaging and make them speak, and we actually make them present during our lessons, so they're involved and they're engaged. We have a great company that contributed, that provided code signal software, which is software that extremely expensive and sophisticated software that automatically checks homeworks. And we're really grateful for Code Signal to kind of offload our instructors and simplify our process. Finally, student collaboration. Advanced students in learning mission help beginner students, and that's a great synergy we have. Like really the community at work, when students help each other, we have busy groups and they exchange information and they help with homeworks and what have you. Now with English, we adopted ESL curriculum. That is a very popular program in the United States for non-English speakers, and we enhanced it with IT. We provided some IT vocabulary into ESL, and also we received a great feedback from our partners to suggest us to also include formal email writing for business communication. Super important to start preparing our students to future employment with Western companies. They need to know how to write email, be polite, be professional. And that becomes, this semester, we're going to introduce email writing into our curriculum. And we have some ideas to do this project-based learning, when will be a project simulation, IT project, which will have an email exchange and, among teams. Finally, conversational English. Of course, they need to be able to speak, and we speak with them, and even on English. Even IT instructors have some English communication with them. Where are we at? 6 months down the road, we started February 9th, we launched our program. Now we have 3 classes, 2 C++, 1 C#. We also opened AutoCAD project management, computer help desk, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, UI, UX. So all this variety of classes we open to steer our students to the areas that they're comfortable with, to kind of leverage their skills because of the same core principle: never say no to motivated person. You know, if person is motivated, we introduce those classes, and a lot of students couldn't keep up with programming, but they're flourishing in, let's say, computer help desk. And that's really great diversification of our classes. Starting this semester, we'll be introducing Armenian studies as a core class. It will be a weekly class. It will be on the same level as C++, for instance. So that's how important we treat the Armenian studies, the fact that we need to be better Armenians, strengthen our roots, and actually be more aware of Armenian history. Our success stories, I don't have time to elaborate. Each of every person accepted to company is a huge story in itself. It will take me hours to tell about that. But in brief, we have 6 students already in paid internship programs. We have PixArt, we have Disco, we have Zivit, which is a great company we're collaborating with. So we have a practitioner at Locator that soon will become their intern or junior developer. We have a student that created a startup. They become entrepreneur and would try it himself as a businessman. We have student that is both student and teacher, which is, I expected this to happen a year or two, and it happened in a few months, which is amazing. And the last thing which I really want to share with you, which is very emotional for all Learning Mission team, it's a psychological recovery of one of our students who was severely stuttering. He was in shock after war. He didn't communicate with parents, and he couldn't walk because of shock, not because of injury. And in few months, actually less than a month, he started speaking. And on one of the meetings, when we had this organization-wide Zoom meeting, when we heard him speaking fluently, I saw this videos are shutting down because people are trying to hide their tears, because it was extremely emotional to see him speak and laugh and a smile on his face. So that proved that this community and education really cures PTSD. It actually worked. We have a proof for that. And that was kind of very, very encouraging and very motivational for us to kind of move forward with a greater energy and be aware that we're doing the right thing. And that was really amazing, and I'm sure this will persist. Few words about our partners: Code Signal, Zivit, Locator, FimeTech, Disco, PixArt. These are currently our partners. I want to distinguish Zivit as our main partner. Amazing company. We have 3 students at Zivit, and because Zivit really pursues this, encourages this diversity program, Zivit provides accommodations for people with special needs, which is really amazing. And they have powerful program for self-development, and they really quickly create professionals from juniors, from interns. They provide amazing solutions in energy field. They have global solutions in energy field and extremely sophisticated software, and they proudly call it solution made in Armenia. Great company. We have good partnership with them, and we'll be enhancing this partnership as time goes by. And really, guys are feeling great at Zivit. Really happy to deal with this organization, with this company. Our challenges. It's obvious that our main challenge is funding, because a lot of people know about us. We gain traction, and people knock our doors, and they want to be part of Learning Mission. And we established this 50 as our red line. And we can't go beyond 50 with this current funding. And we need to do something to expand the funding. And by the way, we need to look for monetization program. And in fact, Armenian Studies, the program that we created, will be paid in United States and Western countries. It will be free for our students, but we try to monetize try to start monetization approaches and monetization kind of paradigms to fund us, to help with funding. Instructors, we need more instructors because we create new classes and we want to diversify, we want to create a unit-based instructor base. So our instructors kind of interchange themselves. So that's important to enhance, expand our instructor base. Partnership with different nonprofit organizations. I had great conversations before this meeting and very exciting collaborations are coming up. We want to kind of put more energy and more time to this and allocate resources which we don't have much, but we need to really look into NGO partnership, and this forum would probably help us a lot to do that. And finally, employer partnership, create more partnership, fill in the blanks on this slide. So as you see here, there is a space intentionally left blank, and would like to fill this space with more companies. I'd like to play a video. Looks like I'm still fine time-wise, so maybe I'll try to play this video if I'm able to. So these are testimonials of our students.
Բազմաթիվ զինվորների կամ վիրավորների համար բավականին ծանր շրջաններ եւ շատերը խապված էին իրավիճակից, բայց learning mission-ը տալիս է հույս մարդկանց իր հնարավորությունների չափով
համոզելու, դա շատ դժվար է համոզել մարդուն այդ ամեն ինչից հետո հել ներկանել ոտի ու ինքը սկսի ինչ-որ բան սովորել եւ զարգանալ։
Ամենամեծ բանը, որ մեզ տվել է, ամենամեծ մեր ձեռքբերումը դա մեծ սերն է, որ բոլորիս մեջ կա, ոնց որ ամենքս մյուսին այդ սիրո պակասը լրացնենք։
Թե շրջապատ, թե կապեր, թե ընտանեկան ջերմ մթնոլորտ։ Ու շատ ուրախ եմ լինել Learning Mission-ի ընտանիքի անդամ։
Եվ Learning Mission-ի անկյունակարից մեկը փոխադարձ հարգանքն է, որը որ շատ կարևոր է, փոխադարձ հարգանքը եւ փոխադարձ ուշադրությունը։
Ես վերջի խմբի մասնակիցներից եմ, այսինքն ամենաուժ ձևավորված խմբի մեջ եմ, երրորդ խմբի մեջ եմ, բայց մեր կազմակերպությունը, մեր ընտանիքը արդեն տալիս է իր պտուղները, մենք արդեն սկսում ենք գնալ պրակտիկաների տարբեր կազմակերպություններ, որպես IT մասնագետներ։ Ես լինելով վերջի խմբի մասնակից, ես անձամբ հաճախում եմ երկապահին պրակտիկայի, ոչ միայն ես, շատ նաև մեր տղաներից մի քանի հոգի արդեն անցել են պրակտիկ դասընթացների, որ մոտ է հիմնական աշխատանքին, էլի։
Thank you very much. And this last seconds, I want to really thank organizers for organizing this great forum. This is an amazing idea that helps organizations like Learning Mission to collaborate and really establish great relationship with us and really move forward together. And thank you so much again. Oh, yeah. Question. There's a microphone. Zartan, you can come over too. Come.
Well, first of all, thank you very much for your extremely important work that you are doing. And my question is related to the, let's say, to your students. Recently, I had a talk with an injured soldier who was very strong guy, he was a sportsman. He could start, using prosthesis very quickly, etc. So he had great will and desire to recover and to live. But he was talking that he wants to leave Armenia because he doesn't see any perspective here, etc., etc. Did you encounter similar issues with your students?
Yes, absolutely. I'm honest. Of course, yes. Two of them actually left. We have a dropout rate. There are clouds on the sky, right? It happens. But also what happens is people are so patriotic and willing to be strong and strengthen our technology. You have both sides of the spectrum. It did happen, indeed. There are the people leaving. But since in my mind, maybe I'm naive, but I hope that they gain exposure to Learning Mission. They saw this community, and they saw this initiative. And maybe when they go and they get education somewhere else, they will contribute back to us because we planted the seeds. So that's our hope. Thank you for the question.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for presentation. Quick question. Do you some sort of replicate or branch out or franchise this program? Or are you running it all by yourself on your premises, etc.? I'll explain a little bit of context. There's a project of a vocational training center in northern regions of Armenia. It's not targeting specifically war veterans. It's targeting local people to give them some kind of profession or skills that would allow them to work remotely, staying at home, not migrating somewhere else. And I'm sure there must be some veterans among them, among them too. Will it be possible, for example, to kind of install your program there? Is there any form of cooperation?
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for that. We have, first of all, regarding the affiliation, Zara here, she will be, we will be creating a Haka here in Armenia. So we'll have organization in Armenia that will be affiliated with Learning Mission. We're completely decentralized. We're all doing this remote Zoom training. So any part of Armenia works perfectly fine for that. Please introduce those students. We'll gladly accept them in a program.
Thank you very much for the presentation. My name is Edith Solomonyan and I'm from Teach for Armenia. I'm here with my colleagues Margarita and Vartan. I have two questions, if you don't mind. First of all, it would be interesting to know, how did you identify your veterans, your students? And could you tell more about your recruitment campaign with the students and with the partners as well? Thank you.
Thank you for your question. And I would like to say that the only question we ask our veterans is, are you eager to learn or no? If the answer is yes, then of course we take it, it goes without saying. We take him and we are trying to do our best to introduce everything we know, IT and English. And some of them, of course, as Rouben told, leave, but very few of them, to tell the truth. But more and more we come to a conclusion that we are eager to collaborate with them, and we can do that. And we can make this big family, and we can do more and more.
I have a few words on what Zara mentioned, and Zara is actively doing that recruitment. We establish slightly different rules for recruitment. We create this type of trial period for students and give them to kind of a preparation class. HTML, CSS class is kind of our quote unquote quarantine. We see how student behaves, how is student diligent, and really willing, really motivated, because again, motivation is our core principle. When we see that student really serious to gain education, then the student gets into appropriate program. So we have that type of process. And when we start paying them stipend and we equip them with computer, etc.
What about your partners, especially in the IT world? How did you recruit them?
We find the partners, we communicate, we network. We found Zivit through Zaruhi, and we're really happy that we did. And we build partnership. We introduce our program, we present our students. Then they go through this elaborate interview process, and then the partnering organization help us to adjust the skill set, entry-level skill set. So the niche of Learning Mission is to put from 0 to 1, to find people with no background, no knowledge, pull them and educate them, and give them sufficient knowledge to enter either high-level training programs or internship or entry level. We're not creating seasoned specialists, we're just creating career path.
Okay, thank you. It would be very interesting to discuss your expectations of the instructors.
Looking forward to it. We
Thank
need
you.
instructors. Thank you so much for the question.